Quality Assured Films does not condone the misuse of internet reviews. The opinions of Michael and John should be taken lightly prior to the viewing of said movie. We realize no one is perfect and only ask that logic be at least considered. Nothing more.
Quality Assured Films.
Welcome to Quality Assured Films. I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we're continuing on with part 2 of our mid-year review.
2015 Mid-Year Review.
I used to daydream about being old enough to go on dates. I had this image of myself holding hands with a really cute guy. Just having some sort of freedom, I guess.
Jay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're not gonna believe me, and I need you to remember what I'm saying.
If there's one thing I love, it's a horror movie. I don't know what it is. When I was a kid, I hated them. And now I'm older, and it's just some sort of like guilty pleasure to sit there and watch. Like, I know you don't even like them now.
I think I can appreciate it, but my imagination just always gets the best of me, and it's tough for me to like willingly watch one of those.
Oh, this one is not a movie that relies on the jump scares or the really weird, scary-looking creature, but at the same time, it is one of those movies that stay with you for days, like I get the tinglies right now on the back of the neck as I talk about it. But just to go over real quick the premise without spoiling much, it follows, of course, is the story of almost like a demon that is passed between people. They show you this in the trailer, so if you're like, oh god, I didn't know that, but you pass it through each other by having sex. So like you have to have sex with someone new in order for it to then follow them.
This thing, it's gonna follow you. Somebody gave it to me, and I passed it to you. Wherever you are, it's somewhere, walking straight for you. All you can do is pass it along to someone else.
It's literally just following you, no matter where you run.
What if you were on like a desert island?
At some point, like let's say you see it right here, right now in this room, and you're like, oh shit, let's get out of here, let's go to a desert island. We'll go to a desert island. Maybe like a week or two later, you're gonna see someone from afar on that desert island just walking towards you, and you're like, and you don't know, and it just keeps walking towards you, and then no one around you can see it but you, and motherfucker.
You see the actual demon?
No, you see it as either like family members or people you know, or just even like weird old lady that's just walking. But the point is, it never stops following you, and when it catches up to you, it's gonna try to kill you. So that premise, it's so simple, but this movie really felt like a genuine horror movie that can last for years from now. Like, it really made me feel like I felt back in the 90s when I would watch like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, how you get really scared, but at the same time you had the kids banding together to fight the bad guy.
What exactly is supposed to be following you?
I don't know.
Just pass it along.
You believe me, right?
Nothing's gonna happen.
This movie does not suffer from the couple of stupid scenes where you're like, why are you walking up to the door? You just saw it there a second ago. This movie it's not excluded from that, but it doesn't have as many, and it also uses it in a way, because you're dealing with kids, that it ends up kind of being okay. I cannot highly recommend this movie enough. The actors in it are really cool. I don't know who that girl is that was the lead, but she was really good.
So if you use protection, would you still get the demon?
I believe so.
Oh.
Yep. If it does kill you, it then goes back to the previous person. There is a little bit of a flaw with that part of it, because then what happens when it runs out of all the people? Like, if it kills you and then it kills the person you had sex with, it keeps killing everybody back to the
Do
beginning.
people have to like call everyone they ever had sex with, and they're like, hey, just to let you know, there's gonna be a demon coming after you. Like, people have to call like their former partners.
I mean, that would be the nice thing to do.
See? Everything's okay. Is something wrong with me?
That's what I loved about this movie. They didn't spend like half the movie or any of the movie going, we have to figure out and understand, like, was this a girl that was abused when she was younger and now she's a demon and that's why she follows? They didn't give a shit about that. It was just simple. Here are the rules. Run. And that's what the whole movie was. Now they're thinking about making some more. All right, I'm fine with that, but please do not ruin it. I know Insidious is up to like 3 already, and from what I hear, the first one was great, but the rest are not not up to par.
Right.
So it follows.
Hey, that line of logic, it follows.
If it kills her, it goes straight down the line to whoever started it.
It's gonna be here sooner or later.
Quality approved.
2015 Midyear Review.
In the nation's capital, a new leader has found a place in the halls of power. But her story began in the halls of high school.
We'll move on now to the presidential race with 3 candidates running. The first is Tracy Flick.
One thing that's important to know about me is that I'm an only child. My mom is really devoted to me. She likes to write letters to successful women like Elizabeth Dole and Connie Chung and ask them what advice do they have for me, Tracy, her daughter.
Here's an older movie. It's probably like early 2000s, I would guess. Maybe late 90s. It's with Reese Witherspoon when she was really young and Matthew Broderick. It's called Election. And he is a high school social studies teacher. Maybe I forget what he teaches, but he's like the head of the student council. And Reese Witherspoon plays this girl who is like total preppy, like to the max, and he kind of like resents her a little bit because she's always like so perfect and peppy and like has so much like energy and is so positive, and he's like kind of not happy in his marriage.
I think you did it.
And if you want to keep questioning me like this, I won't continue without my attorney present. I do not often speak with you and ask for things, but now I really must insist that you help me win the election tomorrow, because I deserve it and Paul Metzler doesn't, as you well know.
He's running unopposed in the election for the student council president, and so he kind of puts this other kid up to, and I think it's another actor that went on, I can't remember his name. He was in like American Pie. So Matthew Broderick like puts him up against Reese Witherspoon so that she has somebody to run against. Oh. He tries to get that kid to win against her, so that like that's the one thing that she won't have. So to like teach her a lesson about failure. Oh my God. So that's like the surface level plot of the movie. And I was thinking this is gonna be kind of like a lighthearted, like kind of innocuous movie that would be like a goofy comedy and maybe people would be angry at each other, but actually goes much deeper than that.
You should stop her. She's not qualified.
We can't both run, can we? I mean, we're brother and sister. Can we?
Tracy and I are totally in love. In love?
Yeah.
So is this a moral situation or an ethical situation?
When I win the presidency, that means you and I are going to be spending a lot of time together. Cast your vote for Tracy Flick next week. You won't just be voting for me. You'll be voting for yourself.
I think it was an MTV film, and they actually give you the backstories for a lot of the characters. Kind of dark, oh, wow. Which surprised me, and it was actually kind of heavy, and it does not have a happy ending. So that took me by surprise, and I would recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Election.
Who knew how high she would climb in life? I had to stop her.
Excuse me! Will you please be quiet?
Now.
Paramount Pictures presents an MTV Films production.
Order! Order!
Starring Matthew Broderick, Reese Witherspoon.
Hey, what happened to your eye?
What happened to your eye? Are you okay, Mr. McAllister?
I'm fine.
On the road to greatness. Never underestimate an overachiever.
Looks like you could use a cupcake.
Election. Cast your vote.
Or don't vote at all!
Quality approved.
The Cobbler. I don't know why I keep giving Adam Sandler a chance.
Is that a movie about a peach dessert?
Starring Adam Schmandler.
Wow.
How was work?
Work was same as every other day. 10.5. Got some big feet there, kid.
Big bone.
I don't know why. To me, the Adam Sandler in my mind is the Billy Madison and the Happy Gilmore, and I
saw a commercial the other day on TV for like some, whatever, FX or someone was showing The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, The Wedding Singer.
And I was like, that wasn't even that long ago.
I know.
I don't know.
Like, what happened? Was it money? Is that what it was, Adam? Huh? Oh, she see the money? I see the pussy. That son of a bitch.
It's the Stitcher.
I could be anybody I want.
My boyfriend wanted me to drop these off.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. You there?
Yeah?
Come here.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
This movie was at first a good idea. Okay, a man's a cobbler. He finds an ancient cobbling machine that came from his Jewish ancestors. The movie starts off with the first 10 minutes like subtitled, like it's Hebrew. They're speaking Hebrew and they're like showing you the history of this machine, which is really cool. I thought, okay, an Adam Sandler movie with subtitles, already we're ahead.
Were there subtitles in Spanglish?
Shop's closed half the time, acting all crazy. I know where this is going. I've seen it before.
You have not seen this before. Trust me.
The story of a man who can cobble a shoe, and whoever shoe it is he puts it on, he becomes that person. So you're like, all right, that seems like a little bit of a fun movie. You know, Method Man's in it.
So they're just going through any kind of colloquialism or idiom, like, walk a mile in his shoes. What can we do with that? It's about a cobbler. Who the fuck is a cobbler anymore?
Right, and he's a cobbler in New York City. Like, they show that his shop's all, like, worn down and he doesn't get that much business. But still, yeah, who the fuck cobbles? And that's the funny thing you say that, because I believe even in the trailer they say, walk a mile in a man's shoes.
Of course.
But this movie started to, like, it started off not funny at all. It was, like, magical a little bit.
10.5.
But then immediately, like, turned dark. Like, he puts on these shoes of somebody that's dead. Like, this lady's like, please drop off these shoes. My husband's, viewings tomorrow. And, this is the first time he's finding out that it works. So he puts them on, he looks in the mirror, and he's like a fucking corpse. And, like, not in a way where you're like, oh my god, he put him on, he's a corpse. No, he's like a dead person looking at himself. I'm going to spoil this movie.
That's horrifying. Why would you make it like that?
I don't know. And that's the thing.
So it's the whatever state they were in when they took them off last?
Right. Or whatever they're... Well, so like Method Man, that's kind of the two main characters, Method Man and Adam Sandler. And,
okay.
And he starts going around as Method Man, which is kind of cool because I like Method Man in general, and it's cool to see him acting.
Hey, yo, Shoe Man, come on, let's go, man. Time is money.
I need these fixed, Shoe Man, and I need them tonight.
We close at 6.
Close when I get my shoes. Just playing with you, Shoe Man.
There is something that happens in this movie. This is a spoiler. There's a point where like Adam Sandler and Method Man are like fighting. Adam Sandler accidentally kills Method Man with a fucking what are those called? High heel stiletto to the throat. Like, you see it go into his throat and him fucking bleed out and die on the floor, just being killed by Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Does Method Man in this movie represent his film career? I don't understand. Is it a metaphor?
So the rest of the movie, he's now dressing up as Method Man, but he's like hiding the fact that he has a hole in his throat, and he's starting to like decay a little bit, and he's trying to go back and meet the people that are in Method Man's lives and finish off whatever he had to.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
So after...
This sounds insane.
It is very insane.
It sounds like it was written by an insane person.
It may very well have been.
Oh my god.
Hi.
Can I help you?
We're trying to stop real estate developers from forcing the regular people out.
If you don't walk out of here right now, I am going to burn this whole place to the ground.
We need people like you to get involved, Max.
You can do this.
How did you hear all of this?
Look, I have a special ability to see stuff I shouldn't.
This is where it really pissed me off. Dustin Hoffman, he shows up in it, right? Because he's the father.
Because he needs a paycheck, I guess?
I need a paycheck.
Was that your
I don't
Dustin
even
Hoffman
know.
impression?
Yeah. He shows up, and he's like, son, let me show you something. And then it turns into like this wannabe superhero movie. This is for the last 5 minutes of the film. He takes him into an underground room where there's thousands of shoes. Like, he turns on a light, and it looks like Arrow's lair or whatever. And he's like, son, cobblers go back a long way. In fact, we have a feud with barbers, and we're fans of the dry cleaners, So that you start getting like this lore about how like I guess it's known that these families feud with each other and barbers hate each other, and he's like, we have ourselves a mission. And then the movie just credits roll. And you're like, what? Like, after all that crazy dark shit, now we're finding out that there's this huge world of like superheroes that are cobblers and barbers and
that should have been the movie.
That could have been the movie. I would have watched that. That would have been the movie. They're gonna make another one probably. That's how it works.
Ugh.
So Adam Sandler, again, I trusted you.
Why? Yeah, that was on you for trusting him.
You've been failing, buddy. Failing, and you are denied.
What the? Hey.
It's a privilege to walk in another man's shoes, but it's also a responsibility. You are a guardian of souls. You are the cobbler.
Quality
Denied.
You mister, you okay?
Quality
Denied.
Don't eat me! Please don't eat me!
I'm not gonna eat you!
Quality Denied. 2015 Midyear Review.
Let's continue our roll of shit house films.
You've been taught that the birthplace of the human race is Earth, but it's not.
Do you know what this will do to people when they find out the truth?
I don't think that most people would want to know the truth.
I do.
Before I even say the title of this movie, I'm going to tell you that the Matrix film, when it came out, changed my life. It was the first time that I felt like a movie really spoke to me. Like, I completely changed the way I thought of things. I questioned the world. And from that point on, anytime the Wachowskis would release something, I just went into it with, you know what, this is going to be amazing. I don't care what the premise is. So when I say Jupiter Ascending, it hurts so much because it was such a crappy movie.
Oh.
The visuals, don't get me wrong, amazing. Like, these worlds they built and the ships and everything. And that was spot on. But the storytelling, the acting, they just, I don't know. I mean, are we going to get into Sense8 at all a little bit?
I kind of want to touch on it at least a little bit.
All right, well, just...
That's what she said.
Sense8 is this new Netflix movie, or I'm sorry, series that the Wachowskis wrote, directed, and it has the same feeling where it's like things are kind of forced.
We might as well just get out of the way.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where they're on the rooftop with like the DJ woman, and he's like, oh, you know, the asshole boyfriend is like, tell him about your trip that you had when you tripped balls in the park.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like DMT is it's a molecule that it lets you see into the future and ancient whatever. And it was like 5 minutes of expository dialogue basically saying like, this is essentially lucid dreaming and it connects all the brains in the world. And her face as she was hearing him talk about it was like me listening and watching it, where she just completely glazed over and was like, whatever, fuck this guy. And I was like, this is really not. It had me up until that point, and I was like, okay, that's terrible. And then there was like a lesbian sex scene.
Oh yeah,
with a strap on, and she pulls the dialogue is, you literally fucked my brains out. And then she pulls the strap-on out and throws it on the floor. And there's a shot of the dripping wet strap-on, rainbow strap-on, hitting the floor in a puddle of goo. That, look, I'm all for everything about that. But it's too much. Who the hell's gonna get behind that?
Thankfully, in Jupiter Ascending, there was not a multicolored puddle of strap-ons.
Your planet was seeded by brass axe industries roughly 100,000 years ago.
It's one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe. There are 3 primary heirs. The oldest is Belem. He's the one that controls this planet and wants you dead.
I am telling you, I am nobody.
You are royalty.
What about the girl?
Still alive.
Bring her to me.
Mila Kunis, you know, I like her and all. She's attractive and beautiful and a good actress. But in this movie, she's like Neo Except imagine if Neo, as he was going like in the White Room with Morpheus, he wasn't asking any questions. He's just like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm not human. Oh, okay. Oh, we're all machines. Oh, okay. Oh, you can teach me kung fu that way. Oh, okay. Like that's all this was. She just kept everywhere she'd go. And then at some point, there's this scene where Sean Bean's in it from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
fans,
yeah.
And he's awesome. But even that, like, they go to the house and he has all these bees everywhere, and she's just standing there. And
are they in the trap?
Bees in the trap.
Yeah.
Bees in the trap.
Bees in the trap.
Mila Kunis is just standing there, and then, like, I guess she bumps into a hive, and then they all, like, float up in the air in this weird pattern, and then he looks at her, and he's like, wait a minute. Have you ever been stung by a bee in your entire life? And she's like, no. He's like, oh, my God. And it's like, dude, I know many people who have not been stung by bees in their entire life to just jump to the conclusion that you're the queen and you can control them. She's like,
When the exact same genes reappear in the exact same order, it is what you call reincarnation.
Her Majesty's life is going to change if she wants it to.
I'm still the same me. Right now, Balem owns the title to Earth. Once you claim it, the Earth will belong to you.
I will harvest that planet tomorrow before I let her take it from me.
the movie then gets even more unbelievable when they get into space. Like, there's a scene where we just shot our main character out into space to die. Spoiler. I'm not telling you which character. So he's, like, gasping for air. Next scene is him busting through the wall of said ship that he just was thrown from to save the girl who's down on the floor. He put a hole in the wall, but nobody's, like, gasping for air. They're able to breathe. The logic did not make sense. The Wachowskis focused too much on, like, those 40-minute shooting scenes where they're flying around, which, again, it looks nice, but, like, wrap it up. I don't need to see... I know the Matrix Revolutions never happened, but at the end of that, with that hour-and-a-half-long battle in Zion, it had some good parts, but it just kept going and going. And then, my God, Eddie Redmayne is in this movie, and he's an amazing actor, but his character, he talks like this. He talks so fucking quietly and low. He's like, where are the girls? And then every now and then he'll get upset and be like, I said, bring them to me! And it's so out of character, and you're like, you don't even give a shit. Jupiter Ascending, I wanted you to be so good. Channing Tatum, I don't have a problem with. I'm not one of those dudes that are like, oh, fuck that guy, he's all buff, I hate my girlfriend looking at him.
Yeah.
He was funny in those other movies.
I think he's good.
But in this movie, he didn't have much to work with. Now, I will say this is the last thing I'm going to say about it before I deny the shit out of it. Those shoes, a lot of people made fun of. He has, like, these shoes.
I thought they're pretty dumb.
They remind me of, like, the Marty McFly hoverboard from the Back to the Future, but on the shoes. There's a couple scenes where he's floating around and it's so laughable. But then there's other times where he's, like, skating through the sky and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, that looks so cool. Like, that would be awesome. So Jupiter Ascending, unfortunately, denied. And the Wachowskis, I don't know.
More dildos.
Yes, please. More fucking rainbow-colored dildos.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a harvest?
Never. But I've heard they feel no pain.
You should have told me the truth about why you wanted her.
That planet belongs to me.
Not anymore.
Your Majesty, I have more in common with a dog than I have with you.
I love dogs. I've always loved dogs.
Quality
denied. Here we go. ...2015 Mid-Year Review.
Well, there you have it. Part 2 of our Mid-Year Review.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And as always, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And this is
Quality Assured Films.